How do you go from a sense of scarcity, from a sense that you're not good enough, that you don't have enough? How do you go from that sense of lack, of missing what you need to be happy, to a complete sense of fulfillment and abundance? Well, I think that's a great topic for a video, right? And it's maybe not so obvious because think about what abundance means to you. Everybody has a different sense of what abundance is, right? You may have different symbols to say, oh, yeah, I will feel abundant if I will have a lot of food in the fridge and I will have a lot of friends, or I will have a bigger house, or will have more cars. Okay, okay. Yeah, that probably triggers in you the sense, okay, I'm abundant if I have that. But I think it's interesting to notice that if you go about around and you hopefully you know people who are look to be externally wealthy and you talk to them, you may notice this funny thing that say, wow, this person has accomplished this, has been recognized in that many ways, and may have a lot of money. I don't know. They just they're so incredibly abundant in a certain sense. And yes, they may have this easy going about it, like they feel they are accomplished in some way. But if you really deeply talk to these people, surprisingly more often than not, they are feeling as much scarcity as you do, or even more. Because when you start getting the stuff you want, you start noticing that's not enough, and that's very scary to some way, because it points you directly to something we don't want to recognize. That is that external wealth is not abundance. That you're not gonna become happier because you make your life to be exactly the way you want to be. That's the biggest illusion from all of them, I would say. Because if you think about what all spirituality means, really, all the religions, the message behind all these enlightened beings, they are just saying over and over again the same thing. You're not going to be happy trying to make the world to be the way you think it has to be for you to be happy. It never happens. And even when it happens, it will just go away. In the best case, it will just go away. But more often than not, you will have what you want. You get this accomplishment from finally getting, I don't know, money, but getting whatever you think you want. And the most frustrating thing is to realize that, and this, of course, is something people don't go around saying, yeah, well, I just accomplished all this and I still feel like crap. No, they don't say that. It's just kind of strange. And it's a disrespect for all the people who don't have it. So it is important to recognize, probably the most fundamental thing to recognize if you're honest in your path, to recognize full abundance, to get, you want to the whole package, you want the real deal. It's important to recognize that, because your mind is going to tell you the contrary all the time. Not just your mind internally, also the whole world is set up in a way that is reinforcing the idea that you don't have enough to be happy. People sort of need you for their own plans, so they need you to need them. Even the government, they couldn't be really governments if people would just be completely satisfied and happy. I imagine that's a speculation. Because you're not afraid of anything. You're just abundant. And I think this is threatening to societies in many ways, because a person who is not dependent on anything, it is dangerous, because you cannot control that person. No less. I'm going a bit straying here. What I'm saying is that there are reasons, external and internal, why not to buy into the idea that you are already abundant. And all this illusion is happening in our minds. All the sense of lack is happening in our mind. not talking about your life. I'm not talking about we talking about, and what about the people who don't have enough? No, no, no. This is not the line of conversation we're having. We're talking about honestly you. We're thinking together, honestly. Because if you're honest with yourself, you will realize that actually it is you that you are telling yourself that you're not good enough. Because history is full of people who were told they weren't enough and it didn't matter to them. Because it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Your own judgments and other people's judgments. You just do what you have to do. You do your best. You do what you feel in this world that you want to open a bakery and do that, and your family tells you that doesn't make sense. You are gonna go bankrupt. There is nothing, and you still go for it. Actually, you will say that actually most of the people who made great advances in all fields, from art to science, did it in that way. Did it by bypassing the sense of needing other people to corroborate what you think about yourself or your potential. So the abundance is found in the moment that you drop your mental ideas of scarcity. So it is just the voice in your head that says that this moment is not good enough, that what you have is not enough. It's just a thought crossing your head that says that you're not ready to be enlightened, that you're not good enough for being loved and appreciated and respected. Most people feel there is a sense of there's something wrong with me, even when you are externally accomplished. So it's important to recognize that voice, because if you would relax your belief on that voice, you will let it be just one thought like any other one. An idea of that you're not good enough. Just wouldn't pay so much attention to it. It will go away eventually, because it just doesn't make any sense. It's actually wrong in so many levels, in so many ways. And you can tell when the idea that you're not good enough crosses your mind. You can tell in your body, like something is telling you, this is just so wrong, so many ways. But we cannot tap into this natural abundance because most people feel they cannot let go of their own minds. You say, I imagine someone hearing this video and saying, okay, I get you. I'm abundant already, and it's my mind that is just deluding me and so on. But how? Well, not going to be surprised with what I'm going to be saying, but it's the uncomfortable truth. Is going back to reinvesting your attention in other things. And at first that means meditation. That means, which is basically just surrendering your compulsive thinking to acknowledge something that is happening in your sensory field. That doesn't mean that is ultimately real just because of that. Actually, it's not. But for most people, that would already transition from a sense of lack, from a sense of you're not good enough, from a sense of effort. Trying to run a marathon, you will never win because you don't know where the end line is. So you're just running and making an effort to fix your life, to make it right, so you finally be just good enough for what? Being loved by others, being loved by yourself. It's just madness. So just transitioning from this inner dialogue to right now noticing that you're breathing, noticing that you're listening and watching a video on a screen, and there are more things around. Just waking up to the level underneath that, where there is sensory experience happening, that feels way more stable and real. And that's not necessarily very judgmental at all, actually. So that would, for most people, that would already feel incredibly abundant. You can probably recall this from good moments in your life, moments where you felt, you felt that. Call it whatever you want to. Ecstasy, excitement, completion, joy. There was a sense of detachment. You were just feeling that, surrendering to that. And if you, not in a nervous way, I mean it in a peaceful way, even like you're not even worried if whatever you want to do happens or not. You are already happy. Like when people are happier when they plan their trips rather when they do their trips. That's a common interesting thing. Well, the same thing for close to everything. You can be happy without having anything. And I'm not suggesting you to go down to the law of attraction path where you just visualize yourself being better in the way you think you will be abundant. No. I'm saying you don't even need to do that. And please do if you find that that's useful for you. Please, I don't want to take out of you the tools. Do anything. But I'm just saying that that will never be complete, because the completion of that path of abundance, let's call that, it is abundance. And abundance is here and now. You don't need to visualize more. You don't need to change your mind and the beliefs of your mind. You don't need to change your mind at all. And that's the moment you actually become free of your mind. As far as you think you need to change your thoughts, you're still in the game. But it's a transition for most of us. So it's okay. Just whatever thing that works for you, makes you feel better. And it is exciting sometimes to think about possibilities in the future. I'm just saying, yeah, but don't sacrifice the happiness of now for a moment in the future. That will always go wrong. And at some point, you will discover that you can still feel that joy and excitement for doing this or doing that or accomplishing this or getting more money if you want to, although that's probably not going to happen if you're doing what I'm suggesting. But you will feel like, oh yeah, that could be possible, that could be done. Maybe I could earn a lot of money and give it all away. Yes, that will get you excited, but don't lock your abundance to that idea. And you will realize that it's possible to do, that you can still play the game of life, so to say, follow your instinct, follow your instinct and pursue everything that spontaneously crosses your mind. Please do that. I'm not saying don't do that. What I'm saying is don't expect happiness to not be here and being around the corner whenever you do that or you accomplish that. That's never going to happen. And that's the first and actually last step to realize full abundance. You don't need anything to feel abundant. Can you just let that sink on you? Because your mind is telling you, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that, you need that. You need to change this, you need to change yourself, you need to. I'm just suggesting, what if to feel abundance, you don't need anything. You don't need to change anything. Just to wake up to the simple idea that all is well and you're well. And your imperfect personal universe, you will realize that it's actually perfect when you see the big picture of everything that's happening as it happens. So you will embrace your peculiarities or your excitement and your desires and your concerns. You will enjoy them from a different perspective. Something that feels threatening for a child, like a movie, scary movie, it could mean close to zero for an adult, right? You could see a scary movie knowing that it's all actors and special effects. And It won't just hit you at all. In the same way, you can be just living what people may consider a damn nightmare of scarcity in the external sense of the word. And you can still feel empowered from a sense of abundance, acting from a sense of love, not a sense of lack, and enjoying whatever you have. Because being alive, it is happiness itself. You're just aliveness is all that you're looking for. So don't let your mind cover that. It's not so subtle, but it feels like you need to decompress your mind from thinking, just to notice that, oh, this is actually always the case. To be alive, it is already abundant. Because just the fact that you are actually alive is on itself something to never forget. It's a precious, very precious thing. The opportunity to be in this world and experience this world as it is for you in every moment. You're home. You don't need anything. You're complete. You're fulfilled already. There's nothing wrong in you to correct. Something that is missing. Just relax in your sense of being alive. Can you feel it? Contentment is the natural consequence of resting in this moment. And you can nurture that contentment that may come in gaps in the beginning. You can nurture it. At some point, this video will make so much sense. You will be making a video about it. You will be telling other people about it. Like, guys, you don't know this, but actually you're already fine. Always. You're already abundant and fulfilled. Only your mind is telling you differently. So just make space for this moment to be enjoyed. Noticing that just the experience of feeling your body, just the experience of hearing, of seeing, it is joyful and it is abundant. You feel thankful for every single experience of being alive. I hope you can connect with that right now and that it stays with you.